that feels a little bit
think
uncomfortable.
so.
We have not just one guest, we have two guests. Cindy, I'll let you introduce you. You introduce them rather, because they are old friends of yours.
Yes, old friends. We go way back. Just kidding. But actually, I was invited on their podcast a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. So we have two special guests from Milan Club Montreal, Steve and Marcello. Welcome to our Worldwide Chat.
Hey, everybody.
There they are.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome, Forza. And I would like to introduce you guys to my good friend Patrick.
Gentlemen, it is wonderful to see you. I think it's the morning over there, isn't it? So good morning. Are you,
Thank you.
Yes,
feeling
nice and sprightly? Have you had your coffee?
Actually, glad you mentioned coffee. I have my espresso right here with my nice Milan cup.
Ah, look at that.
Like the mister.
Ah, beautiful. Thank you, Patrick, for giving me opening the door.
Sugar or no sugar?
No sugar. Take
That's
it
the big
straight.
question. No. Thank you. A man after my own heart. I don't understand why people would just muddy coffee by putting sugar in it. You know, and
I don't understand why
that coffee's not very good at that bar. And I say, how can you tell you put sugar in it? It all tastes the same. Anyway, let's move on from that. I'm on a bit of a rant today.
No, it's okay. I like it.
Anyway, gentlemen, we want to hear from you. So first of all, we have Steve Polillo. And where are you tuning in from, gents? Or where are you actually taking part in this stream from? Because you are in North America. You are in the beautiful city of
Montreal, Patrick and Cindy. So we're from La Belle Province, the province of Quebec. Canada's the country, Montreal's the city.
Wonderful, and it is a glorious city as well. I went once myself and I absolutely loved it, so I'm very jealous. If you ever want to do a week job swap or something like that, I'll head over to Montreal and you can step over here into my shoes in
no
Milan.
problem.
So how do a couple of fans in Montreal become Milan supporters in the first place?
Well, I'll go first. Marcello, the Presidente, he loves the background there, so he puts me in the foreground, and I tell the stories. So for us here in Montreal, it's a huge Milan community that we have. Myself and Marcello involved in Milan Club Montreal. Everybody has their own particular story, and that's what's beautiful about it, is even an ocean away, everyone has their link to these beautiful colors of Milan. So for me, guys, I'll be very honest with you. My aunt was in Milano, and my father was Juventino. And what she did is she sent over the ultimate gift to me, and not the ultimate gift for my father, but I received my first Milan jersey from her. And that caused our family to go into a turmoil of red and black versus black and white, right? So for me, these are eternal colors. It's very important for me to pass this on to my kids, and that's why I wanted to get involved with this great organization of Milan Club Montreal and our podcast, Milan Weekly Podcast. So.
Amazing. So I know that you guys obviously have the podcast. I was invited on. I had an amazing time, by the way. And maybe you guys can tell us a bit how the idea came about. Was it, a group effort? Was it somebody recruiting someone else? And just explain to us how the podcast got started.
Steve, you want to go ahead or I'll go?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. So the podcast, guys, was basically we here in Montreal. It's a very European community. There's a lot of bars. There's a lot of pubs, and basically what we took from there is myself, Vinny, Marcello. We found ourselves in these heated discussions. This bar talk of Serie A and Calcio, and what we were having trouble finding was English content on Milan, right? So, with the help of everybody involved, Marcello in the background, guys, who does enormous things for us. It's myself and Vinny in the forefront, but Marcello, Sonny, the designer, in the background, basically coming up with this podcast where we would have just casual talk, right? Something that you would hear at the corner of a bar between a young man and an old man talking about their favorite team, screaming, yelling, sometimes cursing. Guys, I'll be very honest with you. I'm going to be well behaved on your show, but on Milan Weekly
Thank you,
Podcast,
we
the
appreciate
emotion
that.
takes over. The emotion takes over, and again, with the show and the club, guys, I can't fail to mention, and I don't want to miss anybody's name, but we've made so many friends. Like you see my backdrop behind me, I have a scarf from Milan Club Philly. I have a scarf from Milan Club Sweden. These are people that through the podcast we've connected, and through Milan Club Montreal we've connected, and we've created a bond that I've had the privilege to meet the Fantes. They're the royal couple of Milan Club Philly, and we've become friends. And this is not only now about Milan; it's also become about family. So it's the podcast was something very important to create content for English-speaking Milan fans, so that we can pass on whatever our opinion, our message, Milan's goals to these wonderful fans.
Speaking of your opinions and messages, we've got plenty of that in the chat. You guys have been very busy, I can tell, promoting today's stream, because we have Stevie P, always knows how to model the Milan jacket. Looking good, gentlemen. The legends, La Belle Province, Bonjour de Montréal, we have there as well. Forza Palermo. Forza Palermo, we've got Forza Steve and Marcello. Hello from Montreal. Grande Presidente and Stevie P. Forza Presidente Marcello and Steve. You guys clearly have a big following that is not limited, clearly, either to Canada. There are lots of listeners, I can imagine. But we don't just want to hear from Steve. We want to hear from Marcello as well. So, Marcello, talk to us about this whole movement, what it's like to support Milan in Montreal, and this community that's been developing.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what Steve said earlier. In addition to the show that we do every Monday night, which is really focused on the latest news and what's going on with the team, we also have a bi-weekly show, Milanismo Worldwide, where we've been interviewing Milan clubs throughout the world, and we've touched every continent, and slowly we're reaching out to everyone one by one. And it's a beautiful thing where you have people, you make friends from every corner of the world, and you see how they share the same passion for Milan like we do. So it's really something that, out of all the things we've done in terms of the podcast and building a community, even in Montreal and even worldwide, having this connection with all these fans all over the world, it just makes you realize how big Milan is outside of Italy. Like, I always had an idea that there was a big international community, but since we've been doing this podcast and interviewing all these people, I just realized it's a lot bigger than I thought. And the amount of passion there is for the red and black is incredible. So it's been a wonderful experience for me as the president of the Milan Club of Montreal. I've been involved in activities not only locally with my members, where we get together to watch Milan play, but we've done a lot of stuff beyond our city and throughout the world. And we've also done sometimes things with Milan, which has really reinforced our connection with the team. And it's been an incredible experience. For me, this is like a hobby on the side. We do it really out of passion. We don't make any money out of this. We really just love the team. And it's been an incredible experience. I've made some wonderful friends throughout the world. And I have to say, even with my members at Milan Club Montreal, we're like one big family.
Wonderful. One big family, and you're also a very generous family, may I say, because we have received something in the mail, and it's probably a good thing as well, Cindy, because I don't know about you. I'm shivering here in the studio with the air conditioning. It's December, but it's probably colder inside Casa Milan than it is outside in Milan. And Cindy, I'll let you do the honors.
Okay. By the way, thank you guys.
Thank you so much
for sending.
I love the stash. Represent.
Okay, well, let's open them together.
Yeah.
So you open yours.
Hang on.
And then we'll show the camera.
Well, right. What we got here? Ooh.
So cool.
There
Thank
we
you guys.
go. Look at that. Looking
Glad you like them.
fresh. That is
Awesome.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Milan Club Montreal. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
I'll be sporting this around the Duomo.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I've lost my headphone in the meantime. There we go. I'm going to wear it like a cape, all right?
I'm going to put mine
For the
here so
moment.
everyone can see it
How's
during
that?
the stream.
That's sort of Italian style, you know what I mean? You
Thank
can imagine the head coach of the national team just wearing a jumper wrapped around a sweater
Very
wrapped
sporty,
around his
yes.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna lay it down there, so we are representing on the table, and I will be sporting it certainly on another stream. The problem is you don't want to also offend the guest, you know. I would love to wear this today, but if I wear it on another episode, then maybe we're interviewing someone who's not from Montreal, and they're
Right.
like, why are you representing Montreal when we're... Anyway, moving
Yeah,
swiftly on, seeing all those non-Italian AC Milan supporters fills my rossoneri heart with pride and joy. What a lovely message there. We have, if you build it, they will come, right, Milan Club Toronto. All class from Vinny, Steve and Prezier. Thank you so much, guys, for the thought, sending us through this these T-shirts. We've been quite lucky, haven't we? We've got stuff from
Yes.
Dublin, now we've got stuff from Montreal as
Montreal.
well. But tell us specifically what Montreal is like for those Milan supporters that don't know all about the city. I know it has a bit of a European flavour to it. You mentioned as well that there are a number of Europeans who are based over there. Tell us a little bit about the sights, the sounds, the food, of course, as well. Poutine, I'm familiar with, but give us a little bit of an insight into what daily life is like in Montreal.
Patrick, you mentioned food, so I'll let Steve do the talk.
Yeah, I'm the culinary expert on food for sure. So look, Montreal is a fantastic city. Again, so multicultural. You know, in terms of like soccer, I can say, look, we're not Milan dominant. You know, there's fans from all Serie A clubs, Juventini, Interisti, Laziali, Romanisti. They're from everywhere, right? But that creates a dynamic. It's a different dynamic than what you guys are usually seeing in Europe, right? Where a Milanista and an Interista cannot be seen together. For us, you know, at the different establishments, I'll talk about the one that, you know, Milan Club calls our home base, which is Ciociaro Sports Bar. For there, everybody's welcome, like the owners, the staff, they're Juventini, they're Interisti, but when it's Milan time, the bar becomes ours, as you can see from the fantastic graphics, you know, and something that I would like to mention too, in those pictures, you see not only young, you see old. So there's an old guard to Milan Club Montreal, a club that was started many moons ago. I'm not going to age the members on the chat live with all the Twitch followers, but you can see that some are, you know, have been through the glory days and now are they passed through a little bit of a downhill slump for Milan, but now on the rise again. So Ciociaro Sports Bar, guys, the food is fantastic. You know, here in Montreal, we're blessed with this multicultural restaurant industry that you can have food from everywhere and not have to leave the city. So beverages as well, the nightlife is something else, and you know, it's something that we need to mention. It's been a hard year for everybody, right? With COVID and the pandemic that's been going on throughout the world. We try our best to support local and make sure that these businesses continue to thrive. And you know, the support that we've got from Ciociaro's is second to none for us. They've hosted the events, and you know, one day, Cindy and Patrick, if you could do a live Twitch from Ciociaro's, it will be a fantastic event for everybody.
Would love to.
But
yeah.
like I said, it's amazing to have such a European flavor in this small city. If you put it in the perspective of the world, the love of Calcio and Serie A in Montreal is very strong.
And you know, actually, Steve, I like that you were mentioning the atmosphere, the nightlife, because we're getting lots of comments that Montreal has the best restaurants, best nightlife, and it does get very cold in the winter. Maybe colder than here, I'm not sure. Not sure. But also
colder than Milano for sure. Colder than Milano. We hit sometimes minus 30. So the little T-shirt, Patrick, you're complaining about being cold. When you come to minus 30, you gotta make sure you have proper equipment.
And there's the wind chill factor as well, I guess. So minus 30 feels like minus 50 or something like that. But there you go.
Patrick, we have someone that said Montreal is not only poutine. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. Well, you know, I'm just throwing a little dish out there. I know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
famous, but those
Cucci steak, always a classic.
absolutely. Wow, we've got someone from Algeria. Forza Milan, Forza Isma from Algeria, the African champions. Ismail Benasser there, shout out to him, obviously, who was player of the tournament at the last edition of the AFCON. Abrazo to Vinny and all the fratelli from Canada. Best steak sandwiches at Chocharo's Cucci steak sub for the win. There you go. Wonderful. So big shout out to Chocharo's. So that's where you go and watch the matches. And what about San Siro, gentlemen? Have you had the privilege and the honour to go to San Siro in the past?
I'll go first, Steve. Unfortunately, no. It is something that I really want to do once in my life, at least. And with our group, we had said when Milan makes it back in Champions League, we want to do a pilgrimage to San Siro, and we're going to organize a group trip. And when San Siro is full with 80,000, we'll be in Curva Sud chanting the whole 90 minutes. Because for many of us, it'll be our first time ever, and we want it to be like extra special. So this year with the pandemic, it wasn't really possible to organize, but we're hoping in the future when things resume to normal, that's something that I will promise my members, that we will go to San Siro together to watch Milan in Champions League.
Well, we'll be waiting for you guys here, that's for sure. And Steve, you want to add on top
For
of
me,
that, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna add on top of it. For me, unfortunately, no, that's not been a trip that I've been able to make. Just in terms of life and getting married and having 2 kids, it becomes a bit more of a challenge to make that trip there to San Siro. But like Marcello said, this is something that needs to be done, will be done, and will be done in the future.
Absolutely, here. And get moving as well, guys, because we don't know what's going to happen in terms of the plans with San Siro. That seems to be in the papers every single day. But what I can say is you never get used to it. You never take it for granted. I've been lucky enough to go to San Siro many times over the last 9 years or so since I've been living in Milan. And especially when you take the metro to the stadium, you step up from the metro station, you see it just above you and rise above you, a bit like the Duomo. When you go to the Duomo, it's just an astonishing sight, and you never, I don't think you'll ever be insensitive or get used to just what that stadium means and what it represents, and the visual impact as well, besides what it means in terms of symbolic value and emotionally as well for supporters.
And you know, we also want to take a quick pause to thank Rossoneri and 94 for the subscription. You guys subscribe as much as possible. Keep us, you know, going on this channel. We want to expand, maybe even weekly. What do you think, Patrick?
I'd love to, Cindy.
Yeah.
The more time I can spend with you, the better, to be honest. This was once every 2 weeks. Thank you very much. You had to say that. I put you on the spot there. We've got hundreds and thousands of people tuning in, but from Canada to Argentina, America is hard. There you go. I know that's another one for you, Cindy. Represent.
Okay.
Great job, guys. Love the Milan Club of Montreal. That makes 2 of us, or 3 of us rather.
Yeah.
Great job to you guys as well. Italian Football TV says Milan Club Toronto. So great to see that we've got people tuning in from all 4 corners of the globe, including in North America as well. I know there's a huge following for Serie A in that part of the world. And you mentioned the opportunity to go and see a match at San Siro. But let's talk about game day more particularly, even though you're not necessarily able to get over to Italy. And we forget this as well. Milan does have so many fans all over the world, and it's logistically and sometimes economically not viable to be able to just go to San Siro, which is why it's all the more important that they create these hubs and these environments and these stadium feels even in the local bar. So tell us about a game day at Chocharo's. What does it look like? When does it start? How many people are there? What are you drinking? What are you chanting? And so on and so forth.
Go for it, Marcello.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't want to get in. So what we usually do, Cindy and Patrick, for the for the marquee matchups, for sure we organize like usually more than a viewing party. We'll make an event out of it. We'll offer our members free food. Most like drinking beer. Some will have coffees. Some will have even both. And we tend to organize something where we're there at least an hour before the match. so we'll get to enjoy a meal and spend some time together. Then we're there obviously to watch the game together. And when it's halftime, the people that smoke have to go outside, they go have a cigarette, take a little break, and then they come back in and watch the rest of the game. So we're very, very passionate about the team. Live reactions to anything going on with oohs and ahs and yelling, banging tables. You know, like any hardcore fan, you live the emotions through what you see on the screen. So the members are very, very hardcore Milan fans, and so that's pretty much it in terms of what we do when we get together to watch the matches.
And we've got the Presidente here, but I understand. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, Patrick. Just to add there, like I said, you know, Chicharros is open to all, right? So that's the beauty of match day, right? You're where we have a derby going on. There will be Inter fans, and there will be screaming, and there will be name calling. But in the end, we are civilized, right? That's the extent of the violence that goes on for us, at least. So it's amazing because you can watch it with an opponent, and then after that you can have a drink with that same opponent and talk about the match. So that's the dynamic of North American sports, right? That differs from European sports. So it's something that the Europeans will not understand. But here in North America, this is how we roll. So it's a fantastic dynamic.
I really like how civilized that is as well, because, and in fact, that's true, to be honest, of the Derby della Madonnina in many ways, because whereas you might see a lot of animosity in Rome between Roma and Lazio fans, you often see when you go to the derby, or even when you're watching at home, you often get those cutaway shots. You know, you see a boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife wearing different colours, and it's always been a fairly friendly derby, despite the fact that obviously two of the greatest names in Italian football. So it's nice to hear that dynamic persists as well in North America. I was saying we've got Presidente here in terms of Milan Club Montreal, but I understand that there was also the opportunity to meet the captain of Milan, Alessio Romagnoli. Is that right?
Well, we didn't meet him in person, but we got his shirt. That would have been nice. So what happened,
Have you got
Patrick?
the shirt there to hand? Tell us the story.
Well, we actually have two shirts hung up at Chicharros. The first one we got ever as a gift was Giacomo Bonaventura. Giacomino mio, he has a special place in my heart. So we celebrated our 1-year anniversary when the new admins had taken over from the old guard. And to celebrate, we had made the request to Bonaventura if he wouldn't mind sending us his kit, and he actually signed it for us. So it was such an emotional event for me when I get the parcel arriving at my office and I open it. It's the first time ever in my life that I actually held the shirt that a player actually wore and he signed it. So right away we got it framed. And then I think it was a year or two later when Milan was playing in the ICC, the International Champions Cup. They did a tour in the United States. We asked if a player could come and meet us in Montreal. Unfortunately, that was impossible. So they sent us a kit that Romagnoli signed, and we also hung that one up as well. And we got the opportunity to also do something on Skype with Daniele Massaro, Pepe Reina, Samo Castileo, and Franco Baresi. So it was a fantastic experience. So we got to do that and get the shirt at the same time. It was really, really cool.
That's absolutely wonderful. That's wonderful. Let's see some more of that.
Yeah, some more of that then.
So I would like to thank everybody to come to our special event tonight. We have a big turnout. Thank you everybody. Grazie a tutti di essere venuti a questo evento speciale. E adesso vogliamo ringraziare il nostro capitano Alessio Romagnoli per questa bellissima maglia, e c'è scritto un messaggio al Milan Montreal con affetto Alessio Romagnoli. Grazie di cuore da tutti noi del Milan Club Montreal.
Un capitano, c'è solo un capitano, un capitano, c'è solo un capitano. Un capitano, c'è solo un capitano, un capitano, c'è solo un capitano.
I'm so glad that we saw that clip. Do you know why, Cindy?
Why?
Because finally we found our chant for you to do. So there you go. You've just heard it
Oh, God.
3 or 4 times on 3. 3,
I
2,
cannot.
1, go for it.
I cannot,
I'll join
I
with you. Come
cannot.
on. Un capitano, c'è solo un capitano.
capitano.
One captain. Yeah, let's
Oh
make
my
it a little
God.
bit English. but
Anyway,
there you go.
that video was
word
amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, wonderful. And love that.
Don't listen to our voices.
Absolutely.
You
Well,
guys sang it
don't
much
listen
better.
to yours. I like to think that I'm pretty on
Okay,
point
okay,
there.
sorry. I
Word
grouped you with
perfect.
me.
And his Italian's pretty impressive, says Peacon666, so there's shout out as well for the Italian. We enjoyed that as well, but great to see the club sent you that shirt as well. Alessio Romagnoli, his number 13 shirt. We also did a quick poll earlier on because behind Steve there are a couple of fairly iconic jerseys. There's a 7 I can see there. There's a 22 as well. Cindy, do you recall who won the poll?
I think it was Kaká. It was Kaká, yes.
Kaká, confirmation. I think it was pretty marginal call, but there you go. Two absolute legends, Kaká and Shevchenko. And Shevchenko, who Milan will have the opportunity to come up against for the second time in quick succession in the new year after Genoa beat Salernitana in the Coppa Italia earlier on this week. So the round of 16, that will be coming up. But there you have it. We've got Montreal. They also speak Italian. They say in the chat, they met Kaká in Montreal.
Wow.
C'è solo un capitano, says Mark Stripper. You see, everyone's getting involved now as well. And someone wants to know, Ettore Rivera, 61 no less, wants to know who the best known footballer in Canada is. I think I have an inkling, but I want to hear it from you guys. Who wants to field this question?
Well,
Guys,
right now, it has to be Alphonso Davies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alphonso Davies right now has put Canada on the map, which, ourselves, both myself and Marcello, have kids playing soccer here in Canada, and we're not really known for soccer. We're pretty much more known for the winter sports, skiing and hockey. But soccer is probably one of the most subscribed sports for us here in Canada. And again, with not only Montreal, Toronto, all the way till Vancouver, a humongous soccer turnout for young children up until adults playing very competitive soccer. So Alphonso Davies is becoming that poster child for exactly what Canada as a country wants to accomplish for soccer moving forward.
Shout out to Alphonso Davies, who burst onto the scene in MLS with Vancouver Whitecaps as a teenager, since won the Champions League with Bayern Munich. We have to thank Valeriano99 for subscribing. The rest of you, if you haven't done already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. And above all, Cindy, we spoke about a Canadian player that's very well known, but not a lot of people know that there's a player in the Milan squad, quite a prominent player, who was born in Canada.
I think we got it in the chat. We got it in the chat. It's Fikayo Tomori, which actually I didn't know that either.
There you go. Fikayo Tomori is from Canada, born in Calgary, but he represents England. So England's gain is Canada's loss on that score. Just think about what an even better side Canada could be. By the way, Canada in the running, doing very well in terms of World Cup qualification as well, lest we forget. But there you go, Tomori. The left back from Bayern Munich, that's what they're talking about, Alphonso Davies as well. Wouldn't it be great to see him in Milan colours one day? Then you would have absolutely no excuses, guys. You'd have to be on the first flight from Montreal over to Milan to get to San Siro and cheer on Alphonso Davies. And who knows, maybe in the next Champions League campaign, there might even be a visit of Bayern Munich to San Siro. Sounds like I'm sort of wishing a difficult draw there. It's not the case at all. Hopefully it's the most benign draw possible. Tomori should be playing for Canada. We'll agree to differ on that score. But I want to come back to what we were talking about before, which are those legendary names. We saw the likes of Kaká and Shevchenko, because there's been a lot of interest in the chat, and we're always curious about this as well. You guys clearly, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, have been watching Milan for a number of years. Who is your favourite player that you have laid eyes on in that time? And I want to hear from Marcello first of all, please.
So I had the privilege of watching Milan against Juventus at the Super Cup in 2003 at Giant Stadium in New York, and I got to see my idol Paolo Maldini. So it's something that I'll never forget. I didn't get to meet him. I wanted to, but it wasn't possible. But just it was the first time also I ever saw Milan live on the pitch versus only watching it on TV. So it was a great experience. It was a super hot day. I think I got like a big sunburn that day, but it was all worth it. And we had organized a bus with a bunch of friends to go down. At the time, I wasn't part of any Milan club. I was just a fan. And it was an amazing experience. Even outside of the giant stadium, they had like different activities that they were doing before the game. And you got to really take it all in, all the Milanismo that was going on that day.
Amazing. Somebody said that they were there in 2003. We won't finish that one. You didn't see them when they played at the Impact, Marcello? That was a question for you from the chat.
Yes, that was a friendly match. Of course, I was also there. Just it's not the same thing like seeing the real game that was played for something that you needed to win for. But yeah, it was great having Milan in our city for sure. Just a stadium where they played in isn't really a soccer pitch. It's an old Olympic stadium. But I'm sure Steve can vouch for me when I talk about the experience there. It was nice, don't get me wrong. We were really happy when Milan was in our city. Even though it was just a friendly, we enjoyed it anyway, for sure.
Yeah, and Steve, we want to hear from you too.
Guys, for me, I'm gonna date myself, guys. I need to play this because this was my alarm clock for many, many years, guys. Okay. Guys, that's Squilli di Trombe. Squilli di Trombe woke me up since 1990. Every Sunday morning, guys. I see in the chat, guys.
I'm sure your wife was very happy about that, Steve.
we were not married. We were not married at that time,
okay.
But guys, this question, I was waiting the whole 45 minutes for this question, guys. That's how much soccer is something that's part of us here in Montreal, especially Milan Club Montreal. Guys, you know, listening to the Giusto del Gol every morning brings me back to my childhood, watching it with my dad. It's amazing, guys, to watch Milan and have the chance to watch it from an ocean away, and get that passion out of there. Fighting with my dad, fighting with my uncles. Milan. For me, the question was, do you like a particular player? For me, it's the crest and the shirt. I love the crest and the shirt. The players, they do come and go, but I have a special spot there for Kaká. Kaká, Gattuso, Pirlo. That's the midfield that I grew up with. I would love to say the Van Bastens, the Maldinis, but for me, that was my childhood. That was the glory years of Milan, seeing them, win 2 Champions Leagues. I call it 2.5 because we don't want to talk about Istanbul, but that's the importance of Milan to us here in Montreal, especially the Milan Club members, is the glory days, and this club needs to and will return back to the top.
Yeah.
You mentioned Andrea Pirlo in that. Andrea Pirlo obviously had a spell in Major League Soccer towards the end of his career. Another player who had a spell in Major League Soccer was someone who played for Orlando City Soccer Club, and I understand you got the opportunity to meet him. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. It was right after they played that evening against the Montreal Impact. So we were at the hotel and we're waiting for the bus to return. And it took a while. We were there at least a good hour and a half waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally we see Kaká in the lobby, and he saw us outside the hotel. And we had already advised Orlando City that we were going to be there. So he knew, and then he came outside to meet us. And I got to take the scarf of Milan Club Montreal. I put it around Kaká. I gave him a hug. I took a picture. And just talking about this, Patrick and Cindy, I'm still getting goosebumps just thinking about that time that I actually got to do that. It was like incredible. And also thanks to MLS.
Some footage of it as well, Marcello.
Yeah, we have it on our YouTube channel.
Here we go.
Did the Sharpie out.
Siamo venuti fin qua, siamo venuti fin qua per vedere segnare Kaká.
Piacere, bella partita.
Grazie.
Ok, possiamo prendere una foto insieme? Can we take it inside? Or you want it?
Only out here.
Only out here? Okay. We'll
Sì,
take
è
it
l'ultima
out.
stagione che passi qua per Montreal.
Wow, Marcello, that video
Yeah.
was so amazing, and I could feel the emotions that you had when you were talking about it. But now that we saw the video, I could see the emotions that you
Yeah.
guys felt when he was there, the singing. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely was. Even the members that were there, they were like 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 starstruck. You when you actually got to see him so close, and you hear so much about Kaká, how he's such a like a humble person, classy, and he's all that. We saw him. He took pictures with everybody, and it was a great experience.
Absolutely wonderful. Class act on and off the on and off the field, on and off the pitch. Kaká, graceful on it and really good guy off it as well.
Someone
Few
saying
more
that they're mad
questions?
they missed that experience.
Absolutely. We've got how important is it to having a local fan club in order to feel closer to AC Milan, says Italian Football TV. And how is it possible no one knows the town of Winnipeg? Two questions there.
Well, Winnipeg,
Yeah,
we
so-
call it winter peg. It's so cold there, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, look, the first question, if I could answer there, the local club, it's important, yes. Is it something that's obligatory? Absolutely not. I think you don't need to be part of an actual club to love the jersey of a sports team that you're a fan of. For us, what the club does for us is it lets us into a different world, right? And that again, it's not because Marcello's on here right now, but it has to be said, guys. The work that this gentleman does behind the scenes, is something of real importance to the members, and the members see that and are appreciative of that, and gets us, access to be on a wonderful show with you guys and talk about the club. But the club itself is something of just getting. It's more of a family thing. But do you need a club for real? No, you have to love the jersey and love the crest. That's what the most important thing is.
I think that's the best answer we've heard throughout the entirety of this program. We are sort of running out of time, but before we go, I want to move from the past to the present. Now, we've spoken about your favourite players. We've seen those clips with Kaká, the Romagnoli shirt. I want to get on to the upcoming match this weekend because it's hugely important. Milan against Napoli, Sunday night at San Siro. We also have Ettore Rivera saying we came here to see Rafael Leao score. That's in reference to the chant we saw before. Siamo venuti fin qua per vedere segnare Kaká. We came here to see Kaká score. Now they've updated it for the modern times. Milan, Napoli, gents. I won't put you on the spot and ask you for a score prediction because I'm feeling in a very generous mood today.
Okay.
But I would like to know how you see this game going and how important you think it will be in terms of the Rossoneri's push for the Scudetto.
Steve, go ahead.
Presidente, go first.
I'll go first, no problem. Well, in terms of importance, I mean, it is a pivotal match given both teams are up there in the standings. And also for Milan, they haven't been performing at their best lately. So I think it's time that they have a statement game and get back on track, especially with the 2 drop points of last match. I'm hoping that anger and that frustration that they had that they couldn't put more than 1 goal in the net is going to motivate them to do well, especially they're playing at home. And given who's chasing them for the Scudetto, it's going to be important that they give their best.
Steve?
Yeah, for me, guys, this is an important match. I think it's 2 teams that are battling injuries, but this needs to be a statement game by Milan. our players that will take that pitch at San Siro need to understand that it's time for us to make that turn towards positivity. I know injuries do play a huge factor in football nowadays, but everybody and every team. So it's not an excuse. This is again a statement game where I think Milan could come out victorious. I know Milan can come out victorious, and just to prove that we want to take advantage of our window, because right now this is the window for Milan to challenge for that Scudetto. For long years, as Milan fans, we've had to suffer to see the black and white dominate in this Serie A. And now that it's time for Milan to make this push, it's time for us to not be happy with fourth place. We don't want to be Arsenal. We are Milan, and we go for the Scudetto. We go for the Champions League.
Absolutely. I think we can live stream you guys into the locker room before the game for a little pep talk, because I love that. But I also wanted to mention one more thing maybe before we wrap up, Patrick, because I know yesterday was the club's 122nd birthday.
Yes.
But not the only birthday of the weekend.
Big birthday coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Because
we have one special birthday tomorrow, which is Steve. You might know whose birthday that is, or should we announce it?
Ladies and gentlemen of the Milan world, through some little plugs outside of Presidente's network, we were able to get a special message for him. It is Presidente's birthday, and he will be X number years old. X number years old. We will not tell you what. I hope you guys can hear it, because this came in. Yeah, it will. It's gonna come through the speaker. I hope you guys are gonna hear it.
Oh, here we go.
Ciao guys, this is Zlatan. I want to tell you that I always have my eyes on Montreal, always seeing what you do at the Milan Club Montreal, and listening to the Milan Weekly podcast. I also want to tell you that I wish the Montreal Rossoneri community a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I have one more message too for Marcello, the Presidente. One like me gets older with age. Happy birthday.
Oh my God! Wow, that's amazing, Steve. I can't believe this. Wow.
So that's what we do at
Your
Thank you.
eyes are sparkling.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. What a surprise.
Well, we wanted
Best
to wish you
birthday
an
gift
early
ever.
happy birthday.
Absolutely.
From all of us here at Milan, and especially from Patrick and I, we're so happy we could have you both on, before the
Happy
big
birthday,
day.
Mr.
Yes.
President. I'll refrain from singing a version in the style of Marilyn
No
Monroe.
problem.
It's probably
Thank
not
you,
for-
guys. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
it.
before the watershed in terms of time, but there you go. No, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all of your support from further afield in North America, representing the Rossoneri in Canada, in Montreal, in the French-speaking part of Canada as well. And we hope to see you at San Siro one day very, very soon, guys.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you. And guys, it's important. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Patrick, for having us both on. Guys, if you're listening, exactly like we do on Milan Weekly Podcast, guys, subscribe to their English channel. This is English content for Milan, guys. We need to support Cindy, Patrick with this adventure. It has to be weekly. It has to be every day. English content is king for Milan, guys. And again, it's not because you invited us on the show. Everybody knows I'm a true believer in that content is king. And when content is king and done professionally like you guys, sky's the limit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's
guys
wonderful.
were amazing guests, and all the best. Hope to speak to you guys soon, and Forza Milan this weekend.
Yeah, so I'd like
Forza
to also
Milan.
end off to say thank you to Patrick and Cindy. It was great chatting with you. It was a great experience. And also for Milan for having us on the show today. And I'd just like to take a quick moment to say hi to all my friends at Casa Milan. There's too many to name, except just I always make one little exception for my good friend Georgia Buitsa. I love you, Georgia. She's a wonderful friend. We've been friends for many years. So, and I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us in Milan Club Montreal and Milan Weekly Podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you very soon.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Take care. Happy holidays. Bye.
There you have it. I think we need these guys to plug our content, Cindy.
Right.
You know, because it's one thing you posting on Instagram, on Twitter. It's one thing me posting.
Right.
But that was a very heartfelt plea,
Yes.
talking about content is king, and it's absolutely true. You know, we joke a lot here
Mm-hmm.
on AC Milan World Wide Fan Chat. But it's so important to make the club accessible to everyone.
Absolutely.
And one thing is logistical difficulties, as you can see now with the internet and technology. It does bring us much closer to the club. But it's another thing in terms of linguistic accessibility, because not
true.
everyone is able to speak Italian or has the time to learn Italian. So it's wonderful that they are doing great content in English. We're trying to do content in English now as well here at AC Milan, our official Twitch channel. We're delighted to see so many of you tuning in.
Yes.
And we are delighted to have been able to hear from the man himself as well, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, wishing Mr. President the happy birthday, which is
That was
absolutely
special.
fantastic.
I'm
wasn't
sure
it?
he will set that as his ringtone.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he'll change from the old one.
But there you go, podcast every week. We want it every day. We got the thumbs up. That
Love
would
the
be
energy.
sick. Absolutely. Well said, Patrick. Thank you for once. I think I've hit the nail on the head with something, which is always nice. That is so cool. It was very cool to have a message like that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try and organise one of those as well for my birthday.
Okay.
But not till the 18th of June, so just hold off on the presents
You
for
know,
now. With
I'm
that.
18th of July, Patrick.
18th of July, one month
month
later.
apart.
There you go. And we were obviously born in the same year as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
1999. But there you go. The Zlatan message was amazing. Shall we finish up talking about food? Do you want me to tell you what poutine is? Are you familiar with what
No,
it is?
I'm not. Let's do it.
I think, and we probably should have asked them because I'm probably now going to butcher the description of it. But from what I can recall, because when I went to Montreal, I was there for a stag do. My friend was getting married, and so there was a few drinks here and there. So my memory is a little bit hazy. But from what I can remember, I think poutine is like a big thing of chips, fries,
Okay.
with like
love French
gravy
fries.
and cheese on top.
Okay.
Like, just think of
so
like
kind
one
of like nachos, but with French fries.
yeah, think of one of like the most unhealthy, calorific things that you could conceive of.
Okay,
and that's
my
like
favorite.
poutine. But I guess that the idea behind it is to try and make sure that people keep warm.
Okay,
Because they spoke about the
interesting.
cold as well. If I'm wrong on that, or if anyone would like to rectify that or
Fries
correct it,
with
fries with gravy and cheese
cheese
curds.
curds.
There you see. Absolutely. We've got AC Milan backing me up. Nice
Right.
to
That's how
they've
you know
got
that
my
you got it good.
support. Absolutely. So there you go. But there's a whole host, a whole host of other things that you can also get involved in. Presidente, thanks for everyone the birthday wishes. Milan Club Montreal, nice to see they're still with us.
I know.
Keeping tabs on the last few minutes of the show, which unfortunately has come to a close.
Yes.
And this time next week is probably Christmas Eve, I think.
I think so.
Which is when a lot of people celebrate in Italy and a lot of people celebrate all around the world. In Albania as well, you told me, didn't
Yep, yep. And in America, where I'll be.
you? Absolutely.
So definitely worldwide. I think most people will be tuned into their families,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not so much us, but either way.
We will be back. All that is to say,
Yeah.
we'll be back in the new year.
Yes.
I can't really feasibly seeing you at Casa Milan on New Year's Eve, bringing in 2022.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's an idea for content there
Yeah.
if you want to think about that. But we are pretty much out of time. So, without further ado, we will say enjoy Milan Napoli on Sunday night. Cindy will be there.
Yep. If you're in the stadium, say hi to me.
If you're in Canada, you'll probably be hearing my voice on the commentary as well, so plug myself for a change.
Love it.
Guilty as
Knuckles?
charged. Thank you very
Okay.
much. And finally, happy holidays.
Yes, absolutely. Happy holidays. Enjoy. I don't know. I think my message will be now that I'm overseas, I'm far from my family, I just can't wait to spend time with them. So enjoy time with your loved ones, with your family, or whoever you're spending the holidays with. And I hope everybody just has an
Could we
amazing
hear a
end of the year.
happy Christmas in Albania?
There's no song.
Oh, but
Well-
just like a, how do you say it?
Oh, I thought you meant a song.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, Merry Christmas. I can't think of it. I'm like, I'm fluent, but I can't think
That's
of
all
that
good.
one.
That's all good.
Hold on, let
Clearly,
me think,
you've not spent a
Patrick.
Christmas in Albania recently. We'll come back to you next time to
I
say
got it.
happy.
I got it, Patrick.
Let's hear it.
You put me on the spot, so I got nervous.
Okay, yeah, that happens,
Gzor
that happens.
Krishlindia. So any Albanians watching, and also I want to shout out to Milan Club Albania because I know they watch. So Gzor Krishlindia to everyone. Merry Christmas and
Wonderful.
happy holidays.
Merry Christmas indeed. What a perfect way. Oh, before we go, please make sure we see those cascades. Once again, we want to see those Rossoneri hearts in the chat. And they were pretty much true to their word as well, our Canadian friends, because they said we could have 2 hours on the Twitch. We've gone long today, but a little bumper edition for you ahead of the Christmas break. Reminder, 2 games to go. Milan-Napoli coming up on Sunday night, a big game at San Siro, and then an equally important match, because every game is worth 3 points, at the Castellani against Empoli in the midweek round to close off 2021. That's all from me, Patrick Kendrick.
All from me, Sydney Marina, and now let's flood the chat with hearts.
Goodbye for now. See you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.